Today I'm going to show you how you can quickly progress at performing body weight dips. This tutorial is ideal for anybody who can't currently do any unassisted dips, or maybe you can do one or two with a bit of a struggle and you want to improve your numbers. But before we get into it, let's hear about dips from legendary bodybuilder Mike Mentzer.
Think of the dip as the upper body squat. You cannot beat it. It is the best pec exercise in the world, the best shoulder and tricep exercise. Dips are by far, without a doubt, they're unparalleled. They are the best exercise for pecs, delts, and triceps. Did any of you happen to catch or watch the Olympics from Atlanta a couple summers ago on sports? There were 3 Americans who worked the parallel bars, you may recall, 3 American gymnasts who worked the parallel bars that possessed pecs, shoulders, and arms like those of an advanced bodybuilder, literally. Not just, kind of beginning bodybuilders, but advanced bodybuilders. One of my recent phone clients happens to be deeply involved in the world of gymnastics, and he knows those 3 guys. He told me that people ask them all the time if they lift weights, and they don't. They develop those big upper bodies doing dips.
So like Mike mentioned, the body weight dip is often referred to as the upper body squat because it's such a good compound movement. It's using multiple muscle groups all at the same time. You're using your triceps, your chest muscles, your anterior delts. It also puts a lot of stress on the sternum as well. So this tutorial is going to be broken up into 3 parts. The first is the warm-up, which is very important on an exercise like this because it's putting a lot of stress on the sternum, chest, and anterior delts. You want to make sure you're fully warmed up before you start performing any dips. Then we're going to go into how to do assisted dips. And then finally, how to build your strength up so that you can increase the amount of reps that you do per set. So we're going to warm up the muscles in a couple of ways. We're first going to do a couple of dynamic movements to warm up the muscles, get the blood flowing, and then we're going to follow that up with some static stretching. Because it uses the triceps a lot, we're going to start off by warming up the triceps. You can just grab a pair of light dumbbells, like 5 pounds, like what I got here. What we're going to do is we're just going to do the behind the head tricep extension. And you could just perform several reps of these, whatever you feel comfortable with, 10 to 15 reps. You can do a couple quick sets of that. And then to warm up the chest and the anterior delts, we're going to do kind of like a low to high chest fly with the straight arm. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the dumbbells right at our sides. We're going to bring them up and close. You can go up. As you get more and more warmed up, you can allow the dumbbell to travel behind the body. This way, we are slowly warming up the front delts and where they meet in with the chest, as well as stretching out the sternum a bit. Because when you go down low with dips, the last thing we want to do is get an injury in this area. So now that we've got some good blood flow going throughout the muscles here, it's safe to do some static stretching. And assuming that you're going to be using parallettes for doing your dips, you can use them to do some static stretching simply by grabbing onto the side bars, slowly leaning into them. Each time you can go a little bit lower and lower. If on the other hand you have a dip station such as this is part of my pull-up and pulley station. There's usually a little step up or a little side step. You can raise yourself up and grab the side handles for the dips and just kind of lean into it just by bending your legs and allowing yourself to go down. So now part 2, where I teach you how to do a couple different versions of assisted dips. These are very easily achieved if you have a set of parallettes like what I have here. But you can also use the backs of chairs or a couple of tables that are close together. As long as you have a couple of surfaces that are around waist height, very easily to do this. So what we're going to actually do, we're going to stand in the middle of the parallettes, or the 2 platforms, and we're going to basically use our legs to allow us to go down. We're going to get right down. It's good to do this in front of a mirror too. It's going to get right down until we're at parallel, so that upper arms at parallel to the parallel, and then push ourselves back up. As you're doing a few of these, Try to use your legs less and less as you go along. Might be hard the very first time you're doing these, but again, you want to try to get right down so that upper arm is parallel. Some people find it's even easier to get stronger by going just with one leg. And again, like I said, as you get stronger, just use your leg less and less to push you back up and support you. If you don't have a set of parallettes and you're going to be using a dip station like this, you can do the same thing by putting a chair or a stool nice and securely at the bottom. Step up. Again, go all the way down. Just want to go to parallel. And crank out reps. You can do sets of 8 to 10. Of course, using your legs as little as possible, and even do that one leg trick, which will bring your arms and chest more into play. Now, another form of assisted dip is using a band. People often use these for doing assisted pull-ups as well. So what you could do in the case of here, where we got our 2 bars here that we're going to do dips with, you can grab a hold of a band. You want something good, medium strength or extra strong strength. Just grab a good hold of it. Grab onto the bars. Put your knee down. Get your other knee up. And now you can use the band to help assist you. You don't want to do fast reps. You want to get the body used to the proper range of motion and the proper form. Making sure to keep a good grip on the band and the bars. Be careful when you get up. Do one leg at a time to make sure that the band doesn't snap back. And yes, you can do this with a dip station as well, but because the handles are higher up, make sure you've got that stool or chair below to get you up higher, easier for mounting and dismounting. Make sure you have a good hold of the band. Just like in the parallel version, just want to do one knee at a time, grabbing a good hold here of the band, and then just go down slow. Carefully, one leg at a time, dismount, and you're good to go. So I would suggest that you put assisted dips into your workout sessions about 3 times per week. And in each session, you want to do 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps of assisted dips. After you've done this for about a week and a half to 2 weeks, then I want you to start trying to do 1 to 2 dips on your own. But do it, when you're right after your warm up, before you do any of your assisted dips, just when you're at full strength. So once you're able to perform 2 to 3 unassisted bodyweight dips, you're now ready for part 3. That's strength and conditioning so that you can increase your rep count. So we're going to divide this up into 2 different methods. The first is the slow negative. To perform slow negatives with dips, you just want to do the lowering down portion of the exercise, but at a very slow tempo. So you want to prop yourself up to where your arms are straight, legs up, and just slowly lower yourself down. You want this to take 6 to 8 seconds, and then you can use your legs to get yourself back up. If you're just starting off doing slow negatives, you'll just want to shake your arms out, get blood flowing again, then bring yourself back up, slowly lowering yourself down. As soon as you feel like your strength is giving out, your legs can take over, give the arms a shake out. Performing a slow negative teaches not only your muscles, but also your central nervous system as to what's expected from the body in order to perform this movement. It's a great way for building strength in a wide variety of exercises. A lot of times people do this with pull-ups as well. They'll do slow negatives, lowering themselves down very slowly just to get the muscles to learn how to fire properly. The last method for building up strength in a particular exercise is to perform something called greasing the groove. Now, what greasing the groove is taking a particular exercise or movement and performing it several times a day, but not to the point that you're taxing the body too much. So let's say you're at the point where you can do a couple of repetitions of a dip. So anytime during the day, whether you're at home, at work, or if you're a student at school, you have any kind of surface that you can perform at least a couple of dips with, do that, maybe 3, 4, 5 times a day throughout the day. Make sure you have, good rest in between. You do that every day in between your workout sessions, and you'll be surprised at how much strength that you build up in a short amount of time. Sometimes even at work, what I'll do is I have a nice, sturdy armrest on my chair, my office chair at work, and sometimes I'll do assisted dips, and I'll do a lot of high reps. And then when I come back to my actual workout session, I go to do dips, I'm always amazed that I can always get 1 or 2 more reps into it. So it doesn't matter if you can already do 2 or 3 reps right now, or you can't do any at all. I do advise that if you want to improve your ability to do bodyweight dips, start right from the beginning of this tutorial. Make sure you do that proper warm-up, go through the couple different assisted dip varieties, and finally part 3, those strength building techniques. Anyway, happy dipping. Oh.